So today, we're going to be diving into a sequel that really shook things up, Vash Level 2. And we are absolutely getting into that brutal, unsettling ending.
Hello, Lensmates, and welcome. It's your host, Book Lens. So for this one, I really want you to just find a comfortable spot, maybe even lie down, close your eyes, and just listen. Because we're about to delve into a story that is just incredibly raw, chaotic, and honestly deeply unsettling.
You know, to really get a feel for what we're getting into, just listen to this take from someone who watched it. This movie, it does not pull its punches at all. It's designed to get right under your skin, with scenes that are so visceral that they just stick with you. It really sets the bar for horror right from the get-go. All right, so let's get right into it. The film doesn't ease you in. Nope. It starts with this terrifying scream that just echoes across an entire city. So what kicks things off is this just coordinated, absolutely horrifying act. 10 schoolgirls all at once just leap from their school's terrace. And you realize immediately this isn't some tragic accident. Oh no, this is a statement. It's a chilling announcement that the nightmare, it's back. And it absolutely doesn't stop there. Not even close. All across the city, you see other girls just falling under the same spell. They turn into these violent puppets, attacking people they don't know, smashing things, setting cars on fire. It's just total chaos. It's like watching society just break down, all orchestrated by one dark force. So you have to ask, right? Who's pulling the strings here? And that brings us to the new face of evil in this story. A man who has a very, very dark legacy to live up to. Okay, so let's break down the villains here, because it's important. On one side, you've got Pratap from the first movie, the original black magician. He's been dealt with, right? He's in prison, and his tongue was torn out so he can't do his spells anymore. But it turns out evil has a succession plan. Enter Rajnath, Pratap's younger brother. And this guy, he's not just out for revenge. He wants to be worse than his brother. He's using this mass hypnosis to build his own dark legacy, to prove he's the real master. So you've got this new wave of terror, and it feels, I don't know, both totally random, but also terrifyingly personal. So the big question is, how does all of this chaos connect back to the one family we know survived this nightmare the first time around? And that's where we find our hero again, Atharva. But he's not in a good place. There's no peace. He's just trapped. Trapped in the quiet, heavy aftermath of everything that happened in the first film. And you really feel the cost of their survival across this huge 12-year gap. I mean, think about that. 12 years have gone by since his daughter, Arya, was possessed. And yeah, she's physically free, but she's like a ghost in her own life. She's withdrawn, she's unresponsive, just this constant, heartbreaking reminder of the evil they fought. For them, the past isn't just a memory, it's a prison they're still living in every single day. So with the past and present just crashing into each other, Atharva, he really has no choice. He has to get back in the fight. And this, of course, leads us straight into the film's really complex and really brutal climax. Okay, so this is the real key to the ending. How does it all go down? Well, it's not just a physical fight, it's a battle of wits. Atharva, who at this point has absolutely nothing left to lose, basically makes a deal with the devil. He tells Rajnath, hey, I'll take you to your brother Pratap. But the condition is Rajnath has to free Arya and all the other schoolgirls. But here's where it gets kind of weird, because the magic in this world has these strange little rules. Rajnath figures out that Arya is still connected to Pratap's power because of something so small, a 10 rupee debt that Atharva owed him from years ago. A tiny debt. And all Atharva has to do is repay it, and just like that, that powerful magic link is finally totally severed. So, Arya is free. The debt is paid. You think that's the end, right? But for Atharva, no way. After watching his daughter suffer for 12 long years, this was never just about breaking a spell. This is about ending the entire cycle for good.
And this final act, it tells you everything you need to know about the film's bleak outlook. Atharva doesn't just kill Rajnath, he does something, well, something far more symbolic, and maybe even crueler. He grabs a pair of pliers, and he does the exact same thing he did to Pratap. He tears out Rajnath's tongue. He physically removes the source of his power, his voice. He makes sure this evil can never, ever speak again. So, the villain is silenced. The threat is over. But what does victory even look like in a world this dark? And what did people think? How did this incredibly unsettling movie actually land with audiences and critics? Well, the final scene is just so bleak. Atharva doesn't find any peace, not at all. Instead, he finds a new grim purpose. He takes both brothers, Pratap and Rajnath, and keeps them captive at his farmhouse. He doesn't give them the mercy of death. So his victory? It isn't a celebration. It's a life sentence. He's now the permanent warden for the very evil that ruined his family. But, despite how dark it is, the film actually did really well commercially. It brought in 16 crore at the box office, which is about 160 million rupees. So I guess that proves there's a real appetite out there for this kind of intense, no-holds-barred horror. The reviews from critics were kind of mixed, but mostly on the positive side. People loved that it was raw, chaotic, and just plain unsettling. The filmmaking was called slick, and Janki Bodiwala's performance as the daughter, Arya, got a lot of praise. On the other hand, a lot of people felt the second half just didn't live up to the first. Some said it had pacing problems, that the climax felt a little rushed, and that it just didn't have the same punch as the original. And that really leaves us with one final big question, doesn't it? To save his family, to end all this terror, Atharva had to become just as brutal as the monsters he was fighting. He didn't choose justice, he chose torment. So, does that make him a hero who just did what had to be done? Or has he just become the last grim link in a long chain of violence? Definitely something to think about. Thank you for joining me on this one, Lensmates.